So our first question is, what are the most challenging aspects of sports nutrition formulating?
Alice, would you like to lead off?
I could. Yeah, so really, I think that there's some really fabulous ingredients out there that we know of in regards to sports nutrition. And they've got excellent clinical data. It might be things that we've seen in the past. There's some new products coming out as well. But sometimes there's some real issues trying to get efficacy out of them or effective dose into what we're actually trying to market to our consumer. And that can, arise as some pretty hard issues. Things like, I really like this ingredient. The clinical data is, top notch, exactly what I want to use. But we have issues with flavor, or there's an odor issue, or the color of my product is not what I was intending, or maybe the product's physically not compatible anymore. I can't get any stability out of it. I was working in a gummy and I couldn't succumb the issues around gelation. So those things all kind of come into play. We have these great ingredients, but they can't just be a good ingredient on their own unless we're going to be putting them into something that's a single swallow, like a tablet. And even there, it's got to be, the dose has got to be right. So those new challenges are also something that I think helps our industry quite a bit, right? So we are starting to see these new formats where we have something as a real small dose ready to drink, or a powder add-on, or gummies. But the fact that we have these new formats, it's really great that our consumers want to kind of start with them first. They tend to be the early adopters on these things, but they do provide more challenges for us as food formulators, because lots of times we do have a much smaller window to work in. It's much more difficult to put something in a sprinkle powder than it is into a regular ready to mix, where I might have 30 or 40 grams of product to be working with. So those flavors become even further concentrated. Off reactions are even further enhanced, and so it just is another big challenge for us. And color can also be an issue. This move to kind of these more clear based beverage, where we're moving away from kind of the traditional ready to drink. What does that do with the other components that we were hiding in there behind all of that traditional dairy protein? And that can cause some extensive work for us as well. So that's kind of one of the big challenges that I see in regards to our formulations.
Yeah, and I'll just add on to that and say, as a formulator and a developer as well, flavor and stability are probably the two most challenging aspects for sure, and that's probably not going to change. There's a pretty strong push for natural plant-based solutions in many cases, and some of those really do bring some flavor and stability challenges, likely due to insolubility. And so we're working closely with our own flavor house, Glanbia Nutritional's flavor house, and other flavor suppliers and stability suppliers gum and stability suppliers to deliver on that, depending on the application.